What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're taking a look at Borderlands 4 running on the Legion Go, and this game certainly has its performance issues day one pretty much across the board on PC. I've tried this on a 4060 Ti, 3060. There's definitely frame pacing issues, frame drops, stutters, and other things that are happening kind of across the board, which does make it even harder to run on a device like this, especially with the limited RAM and stuff like that. But I figured I'd take a look at performance to see how playable it was, because over on the Steam Deck it's quite broken and, well, pretty much unplayable there at the moment. Now, as far as the drivers, I am on the newest official Lenovo drivers, which are still not the newest thing, but they're a lot better than what we had. And I'm not using any in-app features in this video for the game or anything like that. Everything is in-game, which I do prefer in-game settings and features when you can use them. Now, we'll start off at 1200p, but we'll be changing that over to 800p, as this game is pretty heavy to run and does have its performance issues right now. We're also going to use the low preset. Trying to bump up any settings was hurting performance as well. We've got FSR, TSR, XeSS, and all that in here, frame generation, and a lot of options if you want to go through and be able to kind of tweak individual settings. But I want to see some patches and some things running better before I worry about getting deeper into maybe getting better out of the game, better settings, visuals, and all that, because there's really not a lot of room to play. And here, even at 1200p, FSR performance, 25 watts, 6 gigs of VRAM set in the BIOS, because the game seems to use between 5 and 6 for the most part. It's just not going to be that playable, at least for the 1200p. There's a lot of areas we're going to go much lower in FPS, and I'm sure it's going to get worse later in the game as well. So ultimately, I gave up on that and just went for 800p with a little less FSR, going with quality or balance. I kind of stuck with balanced. It got me about 8 FPS more than what I was getting on 1200p, which is enough to keep us above 30 or more in those areas where it's really going to want to dip. TSR balanced was around 35. It still has a lot of flicker in the shadows and stuff having to run it this way, but you could do it. I didn't really prefer it though in this game. XeSS balanced will be a cleaner image, not quite as much FPS as we get out of FSR. You would have to knock that to probably performance to get closer to the same upscaling, but I ultimately just decided to stick with FSR for the AMD Z1 Extreme here, and since there's not a lot of room to fudge around and play with the game, it's fine. And you can use frame gen in-game as well, which actually works pretty well. The thing is, we're at such a low base frame rate, anything under 40 for me does have a bit more latency and not look or feel as good as 40, 50, 60 FPS using something like frame gen. But you'll see more of that later on in some gameplay as well. But I definitely didn't like it as much as just the lower natural or native FPS that we get here. So that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of room to work when it comes to the settings, especially right now. And I'll keep an eye out for patches and fixes and things like that that might smooth things out or maybe get us a little bit more performance. But other than that, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay for these settings, for some 30 watts and some frame gen as well. So anyways, guys, as always, thanks a lot for coming and check out the video. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.
Disgusting stairs is a place I call hell.
I don't know if us outbounders have to join this Crimson Resistance to get some help, but we're in. This better not be another pyramid scheme. Already got a whole closet full of supplements. Screw it. This is my legally binding verbal confirmation that we'll join the Crimson Resistance.
New recruits for Claptrap. Better rank and title, here I come.